Welcome back. Now it's time for our SME segment. And there are many different types of business and a lot of entrepreneurs doing things in different spaces that are not so commonly talked about. Today, we're going to have a conversation with Oluwaseyi Olawale of Genomics Institute. It's a top leading genomics and bioinformatics company. It offers research, education, and cutting-edge diploma and training programs. Its services also extend to consulting by providing consultancy in genomics, bioinformatics, and biotechnology. Now, whenever you hear bio, you know this is a lot of science, a lot of technical stuff that we're not really used to hearing about. But it's great to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so if you were to ask a layman about bioinformatics,
yes.
How would you explain it to them?
Okay, so I will explain, like, bioinformatics is the use of computer, like basically your laptop or your desktop, to analyze biological data. So if you're talking about biological data, I think everybody knows about DNA because, people went for, usually go for the paternity test, genetic testing and all of that. So basically it's the use of laptop to analyze DNA. So basically DNA or RNA or protein data. But that's basically.
So apart from the DNA testing and checking, what are the other things that you do at your company?
Okay, so actually, I wouldn't say we do DNA testing per se. Yeah, I would say that we use bioinformatics, right, to analyze data, basically for bacteria and virus. We also analyze plant data, and also human data. And what we're just trying to understand is we're trying to understand the biological state of that particular data or the biological state of the bacteria in order to know, to get insight from that particular data and then probably to deal with the particular biological problem. Exactly.
Okay. So for instance, if you have a farmer who is, maybe he's just purchased a parcel of land and he wants to plant maybe corn or something like that. Your institute provides the kind of data that's needed to assess that soil, for instance.
Okay, yes, definitely. So I think that aspect deals with metagenomics. So because metagenomics is the study of community of microorganisms in an environment. So that is basically an approach because there are other approaches like plant genomics, right, which we actually do very well.
Plant genomics.
Exactly.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. It's really interesting stuff. But I'm wondering, who are the ideal customers that you cater to? Who are your target audience?
Okay, so our target audience actually ranges from academics to industry. So in academics, we have lecturers, we have master's students, PhD students who are into research. And basically nowadays, I think master's students, even undergraduate, actually use genetics, like, it's usually called molecular biology, right, to understand the research they're actually carrying out. So I think our customers also coming from that particular area. So also in industry, we have industries like pharmaceutical industry. So we have an expertise in place when it comes to drug discovery, when it comes to therapeutic peptide research and discovery, when it comes to biosynthetic, biosynthesis basically. So, and also to discover, use genetic to discover active ingredients in plants or in any natural resources and see how we can navigate our way to retrieve those active ingredients and also in an innovative way develop that active ingredient as a solution to deal with biological related problems, even in the agricultural settings as well.
Okay, so now we've talked about agriculture, we've talked about industry and education. There was a mention of health as well, but I'm just trying to break down how exactly it works. How do you retrieve the raw materials, and then how do you get the data, and then how do you give that information to your clients?
Okay, so I think there's first molecular biology. So molecular biology is basically the use of machines, like some genetic related machines in the lab to isolate the DNA And after that, we, there's something called sequencing. There's genetics sequencing or DNA sequencing. So I think nowadays we have next generational sequencing, we have ITS sequencing, we have different kind of sequencing approach. So after sequencing, that's when our work as bioinformatician actually begins, because that's where we get the data. So we usually get the data in different kind of format, and then we use our laptop to analyze this biological data, and then dive deep into the whole study of that particular genetic data.
So you mentioned some time back about using what you do to solve problems.
Yes, yes.
So I'm trying to wrap my head around the type of problems that people bring to you that you consult on.
Okay, so well, there are different kind of problems, right? Ranging from, because basically when we're talking about organisms, we have microorganisms, right? We have plants, we have animals, and then we have human data. So I think data can actually come from these areas, and then they should have, or usually our customers usually have a research objective or research aim. So we try to identify that particular research aim and then get their data and then analyze the data and then see how we can come up with insight they need based on their research objective. So, and their research objective will dive around, probably they just want to understand the problem, or probably they want to, get the information and then use that information to develop an innovative solution. So we just try to...
So in terms of health, right, solutions, when it comes to product development, I see diabetic cure, hemorrhoids cure, treatment, skincare issues. So those are some of the issues that you try to solve with your research.
Yes, yes. So actually, right, we have 4 different subsidiaries. We have a parent company called Genomics Holdings. So we have different subsidiaries. One of these subsidiaries is GeneNatures. So GeneNatures is into translational medicine and natural healing. So they use plant genomics, right? And also they use artificial intelligence and also medicinal chemistry. So we use medicinal chemistry to investigate into this plant, get some of those raw materials, and then we now use genomics to analyze the biological information of that particular data. So basically, we're trying to look for the biosynthetic ingredient, active ingredient. And then we try to see how we can navigate our way to convert that particular plant to a ready-made market, product for the market in order to solve this solution. So you were talking about...
So, health. So if, for instance, you have someone wants to put a product on the market, and obviously they're looking for sorts of certifications and approvals from like NAFDAC, for instance. Obviously, they need to be able to prove that there are certain things that this product can do for people that are using it. So they come to you and you give them the data they need to apply for certification.
So actually, we use ourselves as an example. Like I said, GeneNatures is into this as well. So we have a product, diabetics product. And by the way, there's usually no cure for diabetics, but I would like to say that we have found a cure for diabetics, for early stage diabetics. So it's actually a cure from a 2-plant combination. So right now, we are on the verge of going to the market, but what is delaying us is just the NAFDAC. But already we're there.
But you have the data, you have the
we have the information, and that is what we are going. So, for instance, we have a client that actually wants to go to the NAFDAC, so they can actually come to us to dive into the data, understand it, and provide every possible information that they need to present at the NAFDAC, just like what we actually want to do. So I think, and it's not only diabetics. So we have hemorrhoids, we have solution for hemorrhoids, and also for chronic diarrhea.
Wow. Okay. There's a lot that people don't know is out there, but there are probably people that studied biochemistry, they probably studied genetics, and are wondering which field they can go into right now, or even if they could even start their own business, for instance. I know that it's a long road to starting a business like this, but what advice would you give to anyone who studied your field?
Well, I'm a bioinformatician, right? Though I graduate as a microbiologist from Ladoke Akintola University of Technology. So I think my journey started when I started learning bioinformatics. So I would like to say that very soon, it will be made mandatory for life scientists across the globe to learn bioinformatics, to leverage on bioinformatics. So my advice for students or for life scientists is that they need to actually get the skill set. I think our subsidiary Genomics Institute has been able to train over 25,000 students globally from over 120 countries.
Wow.
So, and that shows the potentiality of this realm, because bioinformatics is like the data science of biotech.
Yeah.
So,
sure.
and everybody should get it. And it's the technical skills. So all life science should get it, because it's going to put them at the edge there. Yeah. Yes.
I have to say a big thank you to you for joining us once
so
again and sharing your experience and your story, in fact, because it feels like it's been a long time coming. It's been building over time.
Yes,
and it's a field that not a lot of people hear about much.
Yes.
Thank you so much for joining us.
So
now, there is, of course, our chef, who has been working so hard in the kitchen this morning. Chef Blossom is there with Mary and Mike. Would you like to join us?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, please
Let's
join us in the kitchen.
Okay.